A very good morning, students. How are you? I hope all of you fit and healthy at your home. So, my dear students, as you know that because of chilled weather, your school is remain closed. So, students, today I am here with a new chapter, chapter 12, going to the moon from your textbook. So, my dear students, here we are going to discuss about our natural satellite, that is the moon. So students, moon is natural satellite of the earth because it moves around the sun, and the moon completes one rotation of its axis in 27 days. So students, here we are going to discuss about our natural satellite, that is the moon. So first of all, enjoy this poem that is given here. I saw the moon one windy night, flying so fast, all silvery white, over the sky like a toy balloon, loose from its string, a runaway moon. This was a poem. Now, students, let us read about some people who went to the moon. Students, look at this picture. This is a picture of rocket. Let's come to our topic. What do you see when you look up at the sky on a clear night? So, students, can you tell me what do you see when you look up at the night on a clear night? Yes, it's moon. Look here, picture of the full moon is given here. The full moon looks beautiful. Students, the moon shines at night. The moon is the nearest neighbor of the earth. Human beings had always dreamed of going to the moon, and this dream came true in 1969. So students, you know very well the moon shines at night and it is the nearest neighbor of the earth. So my dear students, human beings had always dreamed of going to the moon, and this dream came true in year 1969. Three astronauts flew to the moon in a rocket, and one of them, Neil Armstrong, was the first man to step on the moon. So my dear students, here Neil Armstrong was the first man to step on the moon. And students, the first word he said on landing on the moon were, "That's one small step for man, but a giant leap for mankind." So students, here three men went to the space for first time in a spacecraft called Apollo 11. One of them is Neil Armstrong and other two are Edwin Aldrin and Michael Collins. They were the other two who traveled in the spacecraft with Neil Armstrong. So my dear students, we read about the moon in stories and poems. Let us read more about the moon. Students, these astronauts brought some soil from the moon. They took photographs of the moon. We have come to know of many new things about the moon from the soil and the photographs. Students, look here, some photographs from the moon. Look at this one also. This is a picture from the moon. that was taken by the astronauts. This is the last picture. Look, look here carefully. All of these are the photographs that are taken from astronauts. Students, there is no air or water on the moon. So there are no plants or animals or people. There are huge potholes called craters on the moon surface. The craters on the moon surface are much bigger than the potholes on our roads. So students, here there is no air to breathe on the moon. There is no water to drink. No trees or flowers can grow on the moon. So there is no life on the moon. So students, no one can live on the moon. Now students, here the first Indian woman to go into the space. Kalpana Chawla was the first Indian woman to go into the space. She went in 1997 in the space shuttle Columbia. She went into space again in January 2003. However, she died on 1 February 2003 when her space shuttle crashed on the return journey. So students, Kalpana Chawla was the first Indian woman to go into space, and she went into the space for first time in 1997. Next, or another Indian woman, Sunita Williams, another Indian woman, stayed in space for 6 months in 2007. The student, she stayed in space in her spacecraft for 195 days, and Sunita Williams was the second woman of Indian origin to go into the space. So students, this was all about the moon from this chapter, and I hope you understood all the topic very well. Let's recall. The moon is a natural satellite of the earth because it moves around the earth. It is the nearest neighbor of the earth. Man went to the moon for first time in a spacecraft called Apollo 11, and the astronauts were Neil Armstrong, Edwin Aldrin, and Michael Collins. Students, here a word to know you, that is spacecraft. So do you know about spacecraft? A vehicle designed for travel in space. It means astronauts wear special suits that contain a supply of air, and they go into the space in this spacecraft. And the first Indian woman to go into the space was Kalpana Chawla, and Sunita Williams was the second woman of Indian origin to go into the space. So my dear students, this was all about the space and our natural satellite moon. This was the very important questions that are asked in competitive exams also and in your class also. Now your turn to study it and grasp it. Thank you students. Bye and take care of yourself.